Welcome to the time of your life, good riddance. Nope, that's backwards. Welcome to the good riddance, time of your life guitar practice video with Stuart. I'm going to make several of these videos for different songs and techniques, but I'm not quite sure what the final name is going to be. I was thinking guitar practice with Stuart. If you haven't already, be sure to watch the guitar lesson video for Good Riddance Time of Your Life. That way you'll know what the heck we're talking about in this practice video. We're going to treat this like a workout video. We're going to have sets and reps and all that stuff, which means we need a warm up. So let's warm up. It's always a good idea to warm up, right? Some people shake their hands out. I feel like that's a little too hard on my wrists. I'm sure it's fine, but what I like to do is I just stretch out my fingers, then bring them into a fist. Stretch out my fingers, bring them into a fist. One more time. Stretch out my fingers, bring them into a fist. That's enough for now, because the first couple things we're going to play are basically a warm-up anyway. So let's get started with the G chord. If you remember from the lesson video, we want to make sure that we have the ring finger and the pinky on the bottom two strings for this G chord, and you want to make sure your thumb is up here touching the top string. It doesn't make a big difference for the G chord, but it's going to help out with the next couple chords. Let's play the G chord for a whole note, which means 4 counts. Then we'll have an additional 4 counts to switch to the C add 9. Play that for a whole note. Then 4 counts to go back to G. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then switch. 2, 3, 4. C add 9. Then go right back to the G chord. G, 2, 3, 4. Switch back to C add 9. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Get ready to go back to G. G, 2, 3, 4. Here comes the C add 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch back to the G again. And 1, 2, 3. Last time. Switch to the C add 9. 1, 2, 3. One more G and 1, 2, back to G. Oh, big finish on that switch. All right, it's been pretty doable up until now. Let's start making some real business happen. We're gonna switch from the C add 9 to the D. So the trick here is you have to keep your ring finger in the exact same spot. You are not allowed to move it. Here we go. Do not move that ring finger. Keep it there. Keep it there. 1, 2, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then switch to the D chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then back to the C add 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then back to D. Don't move the ring finger. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to C. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to D. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then C add 9. Don't move the ring finger. Strum. I don't know how many times that was. I'm not sure it was 4. I got my list here of what we're going to do next. Ooh, look at that. All right, this is kind of tricky. What we're going to do now, we're going to play all the chords to the intro, which means we're going to play G for a whole note, G for another whole note, C add 9 for a whole note, and then D for a whole note. But here's the rub. I'm not going to give you those 4 extra beats in between to switch. We're going to try to just go from one chord directly to the next chord. So just 4 beats on one chord, then right away we move on. But remember, we have 2 G's at the beginning, so the beginning's not going to be too bad. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, 3, 4. G again. 2. Then switch to C add 9. Oh, that's getting tough. Okay, then D. Here we go. D. 2, then start over with the G, and G, 2, 3, and again, G, 2, then switch to C add 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, then D. I forgot to strum it. I just totally forgot. I hope you were covering for me because I just full on forgot to strum that D chord. Let's give our hands a little break and have a moment with Stuart. This is getting tough. Now, I'm not sure if you guys have noticed, but I don't encourage you to write these things down. I haven't uploaded like PDFs or printouts of these songs and the chords involved. I really like to try to play it from memory. I recommend you try to play from memory when you're practicing as well. Obviously, people learn in different ways, and if you really need to have the visual, by all means, write it down. But I will say, I used to rely on reading the chords off of a piece of paper, and I trained myself to do it from memory and from feel, and it's been very helpful. So I strongly recommend that when you're practicing, you try to read the chords off of paper or off of a screen as little as possible. Let's practice some strumming. So the strumming pattern for the beginning of this song is down, down, up, up, down, up, which I've given you the helpful tool of chanting, I believe in Santa, right along with it. Keeps everything locked in. Let's go ahead and play that strumming pattern just on the G. We'll do it a bunch of times. We're going to play it 8 times together. Just the G chord, not switching to the other chords. Here we go. 1, 2, nice and slow. I believe in Santa. I believe in Santa. I believe in Santa. I believe in Santa. Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up. I believe in Santa. Let's do it one more time really, really slowly. So that way, if there's any directions you're not sure you're doing right, this will give you a chance to really solidify that pattern. So when I say slow, I mean slow. 1, 2, very slowly. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. I believe in Santa. I believe in Santa. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to combine switching chords with the strumming pattern. So let's go ahead and do the strumming pattern twice on G and then twice on C add 9. And then we'll just start it over. Back to the G, back to the C add 9. Down, down, up. Here we go. Down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. See it? Oh no! Well, what a disaster! We had no time to switch whatsoever. We just all of a sudden had to be from the G to the C add 9. When are we supposed to switch chords? I'll tell you. Here is such a great little tip / trick, life hack for this right here. The time where you switch from the G to the C is on the very last strum up of the strumming pattern. So it's down, down, up, down, switch right there. Here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna lift up your fingers on that last strum and then come back down on the next chord. This is very hard to get used to, so here's what we're gonna practice right now. We're gonna play the G chord several times with the strumming pattern. We're not switching to C add 9 yet, but what I want you to do is on the last strum of each time through the pattern, you're just going to lift up your top 2 fingers, your middle finger and your pointer finger, like this. Down, down, up, down, lift, down, down, up, down, lift, down, down, up, down, lift. So I lift up on that last strum, then put it right back down. So let's do that 4 times together, just the G chord with the lift. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, down, up, down, lift, down, down, up, lift. I believe in Santa. Lift. All right, we got that started. So now we're gonna bump up the difficulty. We're gonna add that lift in, but this time we're gonna switch to the C add 9 right after the lift. We'll do 2 times on G, 2 times on C add 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, lift. C add 9, down, up, down, 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 up, down, lift. G, down, 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 up, down, lift. C add 9, down, up, down, I believe in Santa. Last time, down, down, I believe in Santa. Lift, down, down, in Santa. I believe in Santa. Lift, G. That's a tough one. You might have to practice that a bit more on your own at some point. You knew this was coming. There's no getting around it. We have to practice the strumming pattern with C add 9 and the D chord. We're still gonna do that lift move where you pull your fingers off on that last strum, but this time instead of just lifting these 2 fingers, we're actually gonna lift every finger except the ring finger. So first step, we're just gonna play the C add 9 chord, and we're gonna play down, down, up, down, lift. See how I kept my ring finger, but took everything else off. Let's practice just that a couple times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, down, up, down, lift. 1, 2, do it again. Down, down, up, down, lift. Let's do it 2 more times. And down, down, up, down, lift. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, down, up, down, lift. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do we dare? Do we dare switch from the C add 9 to the D with the lift, keeping the Santa strumming pattern going? Let's do it. Let's do it. We'll do it 2 times. We'll do it 2 times. 1, 2, nice and slow. 1, down, up, down, lift, D, down, up, down, lift, C add 9, down, up, down, lift, D, down, up, down, lift. That one's rough. Now, let me tell you something. That might have been a disaster for you. You might have been playing along with it, and you were just going. I don't know why you'd be making that face when you'd be doing it, but maybe you were. Playing along with this video, even if parts of it are really a challenge and it doesn't sound good, I promise you're still getting something out of sitting there and focusing and getting as close as you can. Some parts of this practice routine are going to be easy. Some parts are going to be tough. Just try to make it to the end and there will be progress. We're wrapping up our strumming practice for this video, so I want to get in one last strumming set, the burnout set. I'm told that in workouts, burnout is like the last part of a block where you just push really hard and feel sick afterwards. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to try the advanced strumming that Billie Joe Armstrong does at the beginning of the song, where when we strum up for the first time, each time through the pattern, we're just going to hit the second to bottom string and up. So we're going to try not to play the bottom string. It's worth mentioning that when they play this song live, he's hitting that bottom string like all the time. So it still sounds cool in the recording when he hits the second to bottom one only. But here's the plan. We're going to only strum the G chord, but when we strum up for the first time, each time through the pattern, we're going to try to just navigate our pick right in between the bottom 2 strings and strum up from there. So it'll be like down, down, up. See how I just kind of snuck my pick in between the two and came up from there. I'm gonna miss sometimes. Sometimes I'm gonna hit the bottom two. Sometimes I'm only gonna hit the bottom, the top couple strings. 1, 2, here we go. Down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. I believe in Santa. I believe in Santa. I believe in Santa. 2 more times. Oh, do you hear that bottom string? Fantastic. Moving on, let's give the right hand a break and just focus on the left hand. So we're going to jump to the pre-chorus of the song. That's where we play E minor going to D. We're going to play whole notes on those 2 chords, but we're not actually going to strum the strings. We're just going to switch the left hand from chord to chord. So it's just going to be 1, 2, switch to D, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do this 8 times. We're going to get a lot of practice in going from E minor to D because this is a very tough switch. No strumming. It should be completely silent. Here we go. 1, 2, start with E minor. 1, 2, switch to D. 1, 2, 3, 4, E minor. 2, switch to D. 1, 2, 3. Switch back. 1, 2, 3. And D. 2, 3, 4. E minor. 2, 3. Then D. We're only halfway there. Keep it going though. Keep it going. Back to E minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then D. 2, 3, 4. Back to E minor. 2, 3. Then D. I lost count. I think that was 6. Let's do 2 more. And E minor. 2, 3. Then switch back to D. 2, 3. E minor. Last time. 2. Switch to the D chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's actually all we're going to play of the pre-chorus right now. One more left hand only exercise for you. We're going to take a look at the C chord. C chord's a rough one. Ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string from the top. Middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string from the top. Then your pointer finger all the way down on the 2nd string from the bottom on the 1st fret, like that. You want to keep your fingers, remember, not straight up and down, but at that 45-degree angle right there. This chord is hard enough that I think it's worth practicing on its own, not even using the right hand. Watch this. We're just going to push down on C for 4 beats. Then you're going to lift up to bring your fingers off. Then push back down on C, 3, 4, then lift up off the strings. So we're literally practicing switching from C back to C. Let's try it. 4 times? Let's do 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Push down. 2, 3, 4. Then pick up your fingers. 2, 3. Back to C. And a 1, 2, 3, 4. Then pick up your fingers. 2, 3, 4. Then push back down. 2, 3, 4. Then lift them up. 2, 3. Back to C. And a 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're done. These silent left hand exercises are great when you're on the phone. I think almost every phone conversation I've ever been on in my entire life, I've been like on the phone here. I guess, or on speakerphone, it doesn't really matter. The point is, it doesn't make a bunch of noise. You can practice with pretty much silence. You can do that all the time. Let's have another moment with Stuart while we give our hands a break. When you sit down with your guitar to practice, or stand up, I don't know how you practice. When you have your guitar and you're ready to give it some focused practice, whether it's with one of these videos with me or on your own, you might want to focus on just the hard parts of the song. The easy parts of the song, you're gonna find time to play those anyway. You're just gonna be playing those for fun. The hard parts are what you want to focus on when you are ready to make some real progress. So in this practice video, we're not going to cover every single part of the song. We're going to focus in on the parts that I know gave me the most trouble when I was learning it and give most of my students the most trouble. That being said, let's move on to something. What are we going to do? Let's play the chorus. All right, so E minor chord. We're getting the right hand back involved now. The beginning of the chorus, you play E minor to G a couple times. So that's all we're going to practice right now, but we're going to do it with the strumming and everything. Some of you might find that if you use your pointer finger and middle finger to play the E minor, you don't have to move your pointer finger when you switch to the G chord. Nice thinking, but guess what? I don't want you to do that. I want you to use your middle finger and your ring finger for the E minor, which means when you switch to G, you just have to move everything. It's a little counterintuitive, but in the long run, playing E minor with these two middle fingers is gonna be the way to go, and it's gonna be really comfortable switching from E minor to G once you practice it a bit. So here we go. We're just gonna play the strumming pattern once on E minor, once on G, and we're gonna go back and forth, cuatro times. Spanish for 4. Surprised you didn't know that. 1, 2, nice and slow. And down, down, up, down, lift, G. Down, up, down, lift, E minor. Down, up, down, lift, G. Down, up, down, and I believe in Santa. I believe in Santa. I believe in Santa. I believe in Santa. That little lift we do, some of you guys might think that's like cheating. It's totally not. Listen really closely to the song, the recording. You'll hear him throw those little open strums in there. It's great. And if you're just ignoring it and trying to switch really quickly right in between chords, don't do that to yourself. Use that lift to buy yourself a little bit more time to switch chords. It truly is the only way to go here. You definitely don't want to ignore that. We're almost done with our practice session. It's time for last call. I don't know how that fits into a workout. I don't think they serve drinks at a workout. We want to do some fast strumming, but only on the G chord. So we're going to do our regular strumming pattern, no chord switching. Look at how fast we're going to do it. We're going to play down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. We're getting close to the actual speed of the song. Let's do 8 reps of this together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, down, up. I believe in Santa. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, down, up, down, up. I believe in Santa. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last time. Here we go. Oh, feels good to strum at like actual speed almost. Last thing for today, let's play through the entire song slowly. So this is going to take a couple minutes. I might sing along a little bit if I get inspired. This will kind of help you transition from one part of the song to another. From the beginning of the song, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Intro. Do that again. G. Then C at 9. Then D. The singing starts. Another turning point. A fork inside the node. Trace bribes you by. Oh, here comes the pre-chorus. So make the Again, it's not a question, but a lesson learned. All right. Chorus. Something unpredictable, but in the end, that's fine. I hope that you were right about your wife. All right, so that wasn't the whole song, but it was the whole first time through each section. You got to hear my beautiful voice of an angel. Now that you've gone through this practice session with me, have you mastered this song? I really, really doubt it. Here's what I recommend. Later today, tomorrow, spend a little bit of time on your own practicing the parts of the song that you feel like playing. Then in a couple days, come back, play along with me with this same video again. Stay tuned. Good luck, good hunting, have a good time, do your homework, stay out of trouble, get into some trouble, and bye.